Most people in Bozeman, Montana are familiar with the Montana State University Outdoor Recreation Program. This community resource for renting outdoor gear and providing educational services is a vibrant community within itself. Established in 1984, the Outdoor Recreation Program, or ORP, has always sought to get people outdoors and teach valuable life skills. Here's Dan Sandberg, the Assistant Director of the ORP, discussing the journey of the program from its inception to the version it exists in today.
Mike Cavanis, who was the program director for over 30 years, started the program here in the mid 80s. And the link I just sent you is actually for the first national conference for the Association of Outdoor Recreation and Education. And the first annual conference was here in Bozeman, organized largely by Mike Cavanis in 1984. Mike Cavanis and his team of student employees, they did international trips. They did all sorts of programs all over the world. And it was a huge part of the culture here at Montana State. 9 years ago now, the outdoor recreation program came under the umbrella of recreational sports and fitness, which is where it currently sits. So prior to that, we reported directly to the Associated Students of Montana State University. And now we have a different reporting structure that goes through the Dean of Students and Matt Kairos. So with that, we became part of a larger team connected to a shared set of values. And I think that's been a really positive thing for our program. Other cool history is that the outdoor recreation program used to be housed in the SOB barn, the Save Our Barn over on this side of campus, so like kind of the west side of campus. And we moved into the facility that I'm sitting in right now, again, I think 9 years ago. So that would have been, like 2011.
As the ORP has developed, however, challenges have arisen for the program.
In our time here, we had a large shift in program philosophy. And and so it was a transition in between current or incoming staff that had been here longer than Ty and myself, and folks that we had hired, and transitions and policies that we were bringing in that were quite different than previous directors. And so we recognized that was a big change, and tried to address it by actually we brought in a trainer, local trainer and facilitator to do some sessions on change management, and really tried to address that as this is okay if you're feeling if you're mourning the loss of something that you really love, this is different, and here you have this opportunity to be part of something new, but it's also okay to say no, this isn't for me. So I think that was the biggest challenge that we've faced in the last 4 years, was that.
But Dan says that while this was hard, it has ultimately allowed them to pursue their goals and has marked a significant positive landmark for the development of the program.
Having everybody on the same page about why we were here and what we were doing made all the other challenges that we've faced in the last few years a lot easier. Some other notable milestones have been our first time that we ran our Expeditions MSU programs. So when we brought first-year students out for the first time before their college career. And that actually was reviving a program that had existed under the tutelage of Mike Cavanis, actually. So that was kind of a cool coming full circle there.
While many things about the ORP are the same as when it was created, the shift in the values of the ORP has impacted the program greatly. Today, the shared values of the ORP are self-awareness, community, and leadership. These values are central to everything that the ORP does and is also reflected in their mission statement.
The Outdoor Recreation Program engages, develops, and empowers the leaders of tomorrow using the outdoors as their classroom.
However, these values are not wholly represented by the space that the ORP resides in, the Outdoor Recreation Center.
We're actually quite limited. This facility that we're in currently was very much set up to be a rental shop first and foremost. And as our program has evolved to offering more educational programming as core to who we are, it doesn't necessarily support that very well. It reflects where people's values were when the building was constructed.
While this building is sometimes limiting, the ORP can see light at the end of the tunnel. When the new fitness center is complete in a few years, the ORP will gain a new home base that is designed to accommodate their mission to educate. Until then, the ORP is focusing on using its other assets to enact the most change possible. Even though the ORP manages a significant amount of built and financial capital, including their building, revenue from student fees and course fees, and rental gear, they hope to be more known for their wealth and cultivation of political, social, and human capital.
So the people are the reason that I do the work that I do. So we work really hard to interview folks and make the position and the program really, really clear about what we represent and what the type of work people are going to be doing is. So because of that, we find people that are motivated and inspired to work on the same types of projects.
In addition to teaching valuable skills to its 40 student employees, such as leadership, conflict management, and a plethora of safety and outdoor skills, the ORP educates and leads the student community at MSU. Students at MSU have two main educational opportunities through the ORP: ACT classes and short format clinics, and longer format day trips and multiple day trips called Expeditions MSU that Dan mentioned earlier.
Each of these kind of focus areas has a different educational outcome, right? And so our ACT classes are for people that want to learn a skill is our primary focus, and community building and self-awareness are still present, but a little less emphasized. Our clinics, similar. They're short format. They're meant for beginner folks that are new to that activity. Our trips, our off-campus trips, half day or full day programs, those are really centered on community building and include an activity and potentially some lessons as part of that. But the focus is on spending time with peers in the outdoor areas around Bozeman. And unfortunately, those are what we've had to limit the most right now due to COVID.
Even with all of this to manage, the ORP maintains a collaborative power structure with both its pool of student employees and with the upper management of MSU. Within the organization, student leaders divide up the management of programs, and full-time employees like Dan oversee them. More impressive than this is the relationship that the ORP maintains with MSU's administration.
We do have a lot of institutional support. So from all the way up to our dean and vice president of student success, we have great support from them, and they believe in our mission, and they actually give us quite a bit of freedom to pursue that mission as professionals in the field. And so that feels really good, and it's not always the case. And actually, we have institutional support all the way up to our campus risk management and our legal team, right? And they believe in what we're doing and trust us to manage a risky environment and run avalanche classes where we're actually entering into avalanche terrain and that kind of thing. So that institutional support means a lot.
Looking to the future, the ORP hopes to increase the strength of the community within its pool of employees and expand its freshman engagement activities in partnership with the Office of Student Engagement, or OSE. The ORP has partnered with the OSE in the past to offer discounted rates for gear to expand participation in programs, which has worked incredibly.
So we're hoping this fall to engage with that same office and offer a series of day hikes, water-based programming, bike rides around town that are all discounted as a nod to increasing that student participation early in the semester and getting people engaged. And it is backed up by research as well. People that are engaged have less interactions with the conduct system also on campus.
Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic has provided the perfect opportunity to improve the community within the group of ORP employees.
Without being able to bring 40 people together indoors, we're experiencing a loss of community this year for sure. And so our goal this summer is once people are out of school to really double down on that.
Montana State's ORP is a central piece of the MSU student community, educating and bringing students together through their programs and classes. It is also a community within itself, one that seeks to grow and expand its influence in the years to come.